It's Bill Bennett's Morning in America. Here's Bill. Claude.
Yes, I got a United States Marine here, and you're playing Run, Run, Rudolph rather than the shores of Tripoli.
Right, well, by request.
Well, for Christmas season.
So,
all right, well, Lieutenant, Captain, what are you, Josh?
I actually finished up as a Staff Sergeant of Marines.
Staff Sergeant. God bless you. Josh Mandel, Treasurer of the State of Ohio, United States Marine Corps, candidate for the United States Senate in 2012. Delighted to have you on Morning in America again, Josh.
Thanks for having me on, Bill.
All right, we love seeing you in Washington, too.
Thank you.
You did a great editorial, which I want to talk about because this really ties into our Texas Public Policy Foundation work, and they have us talking about energy and energy issues all the time, and thought you would be a great person to do that today. But tell us how the campaign's going first.
Sure, it's going very well. You know, we have conservatives throughout the state of Ohio supporting our campaign in a big way. We put together a strong grassroots organization in every corner of the state. And it's interesting, we even have some conservative Democrats supporting the cause because the gentleman we're running against was just named the most liberal senator in America.
Really?
Yeah, it's Bill. I mean, he's way out there. And so we have a lot of conservative Democrats in Appalachia and other parts of the state.
Yeah.
A lot of folks who go hunting on Saturdays, church on Sundays, believe in peace through strength, who are stepping up and supporting the cause as well. And so we're confident we're going to win this thing.
Great. And the issue, I imagine, the issue in Ohio, as I know it, and as I know the rest of the country, and Ohio's about as good a bellwether for the country as any state. I guess it is, isn't it? Is jobs.
It is.
Jobs and energy. Tell us about that.
Sure. We talk about jobs everywhere we go, and that's the driving issue throughout the state of Ohio. And, you hit on energy. That is going to be, I believe, one of the main avenues of new job creation for the state of Ohio. In addition to the coal we have in eastern and southeastern Ohio that provides thousands of jobs for Ohioans, we have part of the Marcellus Shale Formation and a significant portion of the Utica Shale Formation throughout the state of Ohio. And we've been calling that exploration of oil and gas in Ohio the win-win-win. It's a win for new job creation, for affordable energy, and also weaning us off of dependence on foreign oil. It contributes to our national security. And as the treasurer of the state of Ohio, I wear that hat, caring very much about new job creation, and also wearing the hat of a Senate candidate as new job creation, but also wearing the hat as a Marine who did a couple tours in Iraq. I think the more energy we can produce here in the United States and not have to depend on radical nations within the Middle East or Venezuela or other places around the world, the better we'll be off long term.
I like that. I like all those hats. As treasurer, as Senate candidate, as Marine, yeah, a lot of hats you've thrown in there. Can I read this at the beginning of this editorial you wrote? Because this was really striking, and the audience needs to get this. On the same day 2 weeks ago, Ohioans saw the following diverging headlines. This was written by Josh Mandel. In the Cleveland Plain Dealer, Republic Steel to add 450 jobs to Lorain as oil and gas exploration booms. Then in the Marion, Ohio Star, Ohio National Forest halts sale of drilling rights. Story reporting the U.S. Department of Agriculture's decision to suspend the auction of leases for oil and gas drilling. So Josh writes, you might be asking yourself, why would Washington block drilling in Ohio at the same time that Ohio manufacturers are adding jobs to support the state's growing oil and gas exploration? Thousands of middle-class families and out-of-work Ohioans are asking that same question. Josh.
Yes, it's mind-boggling. I mean, we have some of the most economically depressed parts of the state, new jobs popping up. It's for men and women who are working on these rigs, but it's also people who are waiters and waitresses and working at hotels in and around the area where the drilling's going on. But as you just referenced, Bill, a lot of new manufacturing jobs in the heart of the Rust Belt. Lorain County, which you just referenced, is just west of Cleveland. That's from Republic Steel. U.S. Steel created new jobs to support oil and gas exploration. A Timken company in Canton, V&M actually out of France, is coming into Youngstown and adding a bunch of new jobs. We haven't seen new manufacturing jobs in Youngstown probably in decades, and it's amazing. It's an economic revolution, and as long as we can do it in an aggressive and responsible way, which looks after the environment, but also drives forward in a strong way in new job creation, we think this can really revolutionize the economy in Ohio. And unfortunately, President Obama, Senator Sherrod Brown here in Ohio, and some of these fringe extremists are standing in our way and trying to block from exploration of oil and gas in the state.
And let's talk about, because this was news, the first item, Josh Mandel, that we talked about this morning, which is the extension of the Social Security reduction and payroll payroll tax reduction, tied by the Republicans to speed up approval of the XL, the pipeline. And this is the Keystone XL pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
And you quoted in your piece a union worker, president of Laborers International. Tell us about this.
Sure. I quoted in that Wall Street Journal piece a gentleman named Terry O'Sullivan, who's the president of the Laborers International Union, who said something to the effect of this Excel decision is an example of the administration choosing environmentalists over jobs for American workers. And I thought he hit the nail on the head with the Excel pipeline decision, and he also hits the nail on the head when you apply that quote to what Obama and Brown are doing here in the state of Ohio. And yeah, I mean, if your listeners want to read my Wall Street Journal piece, they can just go on my website, joshmandel.com, and I encourage them to read it. And I also encourage them to follow what the Texas Public Policy Foundation is doing in respect to energy. I think Texas understands how new jobs are created in the energy industry, and I think a lot of states around the country can follow suit, and so I applaud their efforts there. And we, in addition to Texas, we reference North Dakota and Pennsylvania a lot.
Yeah.
North Dakota, around 3% unemployment. They're paying McDonald's workers about $15 an hour, and they can't build homes fast enough to support folks working in and around these rigs. And in Western PA, I mean, you have a lady who owns the mom and pop diner. 2 years ago, she was about to go out of business. Now she owns the whole block. The guy who owns a pizza shop, 2 years ago, he was about to go out of business. Now he's a millionaire, and it's just an amazing. Some of the most economically depressed parts of this country, new jobs being created.
The end of this piece, Josh, and you write, go to your website, or we have a link on ours, BillBennett.com, to this piece. You talk about a fork in the road.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about this fork in terms of energy policy. Tell us about it in terms of Senate race. Tell us the decision we're making.
Sure. Well, this is a fork in the road for states like New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and others. The Wall Street Journal did a good job, I think, probably around a year or so ago, writing about that fork in the road where New York went one way and decided not to explore for natural resources, and Pennsylvania, to their credit, both Democrats and Republicans went a different direction, and they've created tens of thousands of new jobs in some of the most depressed parts of Pennsylvania. We have that fork in Ohio right now, and we're going to drill. We're going to do it in a responsible way, but we're going to do it also in an aggressive way where we're going to explore for oil and gas. We're going to create tens of thousands of new jobs. We're going to bring down energy costs for Ohio citizens, senior citizens, small businesses, and we're going to do our part here in the state of Ohio to contribute to the national security of the United States of America.
We can have jobs, energy, less dependence on foreign oil, and clean air all at the same time.
We can. They are not mutually exclusive. And we always use the word responsible, Bill. I don't think there's anyone, Democrat, Republican, Independent, anyone who wants to do bad things to the environment. And so I think it's important to protect drinking water, protect the environment, but also do this in a way that maximizes job creation, affordable energy, and national security. And that's why we keep talking about this win-win-win. And you asked about the fork in the road in the Senate race. You know, we're running against a guy, Sherrod Brown, who was just named the most liberal senator in the United States of America. And a part of that is because he approaches issues like this siding with the fringe extremists and the Washington bureaucrats instead of siding with common sense. And we think the common sense decision here is to drill because it's new jobs for the state of Ohio and for the United States of America.
Well, as I said at the beginning, I mean, there's no state that's a better bellwether, more representative of the rest of the country than Ohio. So I think the issues that you're wrestling with there are issues that the country's wrestling with, and this is just emblematic of what's going on around the country. Let me know what I can do, and give us the website again, Josh.
Sure. It's JoshMandel.com, joshmandel.com. And we'd appreciate the support of anyone listening here this morning. And if you have any family or friends in the state of Ohio, ask them to put a yard sign in their front yard and vote for me next November. And we're going to go take this country in a starkly different direction.
All right, you get me out there, and I'll help you. I'll keep a Browns game, a Bengals game. Wait for the spring, Cincinnati Reds. I don't care. My price is cheap.
We'll take you up on that, Bill.
A couple of tickets,
and
okay?
for your passionate support of Marines throughout the world and servicemen in all branches of the service.
Well, I got a dog in this fight now, you know.
I know that. I know that very well.
I know you do. God bless you. Thank you, Josh. Thanks very much.
Take care, Bill.